You're tuned to Arrow FM, your local community access radio station. The time now is 8 o'clock. Time for another hour of the great music that came out in the 1960s with the 60s Nostalgia Show. Now, this is a real oldie from the early 1960s, 1960. In fact, Ernie Freeman and his orchestra and Raunchy. Right, the 60s Nostalgia Show is kindly sponsored by Cotter and Stevens, the electrical contractors down in Jellicoe Street in Martinborough. Cotter and Stevens have been in the Wairarapa for a long time, many decades, providing contracting work and great service in the electrical field, whether that be private or commercial, and they're also dab hands around the old dairy shed because they're the De Laval agents for the Wairarapa. And if you want some expert advice and assistance to build a new effluent pond, give Jim or Steve a ring down at Cotter and Stevens because they are experts. Ernie Freeman and his orchestra there, and Raunchy. If I remember correctly, that song came out in the late in 1959, but was actually on the charts in 1960s, so that we can play that on a 60s show.
Have I the right to hold you? You know I've always told you that we must never, ever part. Oh, have I the right to kiss you? You know I'll always miss you. I've loved you from the very start. Come right back, I just can't bear it. I've got some love and I long to share it. Come right back, I'll show my love is strong. Oh yeah. Have I the right to touch you? If I could, you'd see how much you send those shivers running down my spine. Ooh, have I the right to thrill you? You know I'm waiting till you give me the right to make you mine. Well, come right back, I just can't bear it. I've got some love and I long to share it. Come right back, I'll show my love is strong. Oh yeah, all right.
Opening up the show tonight there, Honeycombs, and that was their only a big hit. And I suppose if you're only going to have one hit, you make sure it's a beauty, and that was certainly monstrous hit for the Honeycombs. Nothing really planned for the show tonight, so if you'd like to hear a particular song, artist or band, just give me a ring here on 378 0255, 378 0255, and I'll see if I can dig it out from the pile of bits and pieces I've brought down. And if you happen to be tuned in on the net and outside the Wairarapa, if you want to get hold of us, the area code is 06. Right, next up we've got from 1964, Little Children, Billy J. Kramer and the Dakotas.
You see, and if you're good, I'll give you candy and a quarter. If you're quiet like you ought to be, and keep a secret with me, I wish they would go away, little children. Now why ain't you playing outside? I'm asking you can't fool me, 'cause I'm gonna know if you hide and try to peep. I'm gonna treat you to a movie. Stop your giggling, children, do be nice, like little sugars and spice. You saw me kissing your sister, you saw me holding her hand, but if you snitch to your mother, your father won't understand. I wish they would take a nap, little children. Now why don't you go bye-bye? Go anywhere, little children. Know you would go if you tried. Go up the stairs, me and your sister will go and say, how can I kiss her when I'm ready to? With little children like you around, I wonder what can I do around little children like you.
Pick up what I'm putting down. Ooh, baby, I'm your handyman. I'm not the kind that use a pencil or a rule. I'm handy with the love and I'm no fool. I fix broken hearts, I know I really can. If your broken hearts need repair, I'm the man to see. I whisper sweet things, you tell all your friends, they'll come running to me. Here is the main thing I want to say. I'm busy 24 hours a day. I fix broken hearts, I know I really can. If your broken hearts need repair, I'm the man to see. I whisper sweet things, you tell all your friends, they'll come running to me. 24 hours a day. I fix broken hearts, I know I really can.
From 1960 there, Jimmy Jones and Handyman. Right, next up we've got a track from the Rolling Stones' second LP, an LP called 12 by 5, and it's a Chuck Berry song called Around and Around.
I said the joint was rocking, going round and round, yeah, reeling and rocking, what a crazy sound. And they never stopped rocking till the moon went down. Well, it sounds so sweet, I had to take me a chance. Rose out of my seat, I just had to dance. Started moving my feet, oh, to clapping my hands. I said the joint was rocking, going round and round, yeah, reeling and rocking, what a crazy sound. And they never stopped rocking till the moon went down. Yeah, 12 o'clock, yeah, the place is packed. Front doors was locked, yeah, the place was packed. And when the police knocked, those doors flew back. But they kept on rocking, going round and round, yeah, reeling and rocking, what a crazy sound. And they never stopped rocking till the moon went down. Yeah, they kept on rocking, going round and round, yeah, reeling and rocking, what a crazy sound. And they never stopped rocking till the moon went down. And the joints kept rocking, going round and round, yeah, reeling and rocking, what a crazy sound. And they never stopped rocking till the moon went down.
The Rolling Stones there, Around and Around, certainly a great song that they put out early on in their career. And that's when they were a great rock and roll band. 14 minutes after 8 o'clock here on Arrow FM. Next up, we've got The Lovin' Spoonful and a song all about those Nashville Cats.
Nashville cats play clean as country water. Nashville cats play wild as Mountain Dew. Nashville cats been playing since they's babies. Nashville cats get work before they're two. Well, there's 1,352 guitar pickers in Nashville, and they can pick more notes than the number of ants on the Tennessee anthill. Yeah, there's 1,352 guitar cases in Nashville, and anyone one that unpacks his guitar can play twice as better than I will. Yes, I was just 13, you might say I was a musical proverbial knee-high. When I heard a couple new sounding tunes on the tubes and they blasted me sky high. And the record man said everyone is a Yellow Sun record from Nashville. And up north here ain't nobody buys them. And I said, but I will. And it was Nashville cats played clean as country water. Nashville cats playing wild as Mountain Dew. Nashville cats been playing since they's babies. Nashville cats get work before they're two. Well, there's 16,821 mothers from Nashville. All the friends play music and they ain't uptight if one of the kids will, because it's custom made for any mother's son to be a guitar picker in Nashville. And I sure am glad I got a chance to say a word about the music and the mothers from Nashville. And Nashville cats play clean as country water. Nashville cats play wild as Mountain Dew. Nashville cats been playing since they's babies. Nashville cats get work before they're too picky.
The Lovin' Spoonful there with their tongues completely in their cheek. Song called Nashville Cats, written by John Sebastian, who wrote virtually all the songs that the Lovin' Spoonful put out. Real cruisy sort of group, that one. Right, next up we've got Pet Clark.
Change my love.
expression on my face. I can feel a glowing sensation taking place. I can hear the guitars play lovely tunes every time that you walk in the room. I close my eyes for a second and pretend it's me you want. Meanwhile I try to act so nonchalant. I see a summer's night with a magic moon every time that you walk in the room. Baby, it's a dream come true, walking right alongside of you. Wish I could tell you how much I care, but I only have the nerve to stare. I can feel a something pounding in my brain just any time that someone speaks your name. Trumpet sound and I hear thunder boom every time that you walk in the room. Every time that you walk in the room.
The Search is there, and when you walk in the room, that was a song written by Jackie DeShannon. You're tuned to Arrow FM, and you're listening to the 60s Nostalgia Show, which is kindly sponsored by Connor and Stevens, the electrical contractors down in Jellicoe Street in Masterton. And the 60s Nostalgia Show is where we wallow in nostalgia from the greatest decade of music ever. Right, next up we've got the Buttercup, the Foundations rather, and Build Me Up Buttercup.
Why do you build me up, buttercup, baby, just to let me down and mess me around? And then worst of all, you never call, baby, when you say you will. But I love you still, I need you more than anyone, darling. You know that I have from the start. So build me up, buttercup, don't break my heart. I'll be over at 10, you told me time and again, but you're late. I waited round and then I run to the door. I can't take anymore. It's not you. You let me down again. Baby, baby, try to find a little time and I'll make you happy. I'll be home, I'll be beside the phone waiting for you. Why do you build me up, buttercup, baby, just to let me down and mess me around? And then worst of all, you never call, baby, when you say you will. But I love you still, I need you more than anyone, darling. You know that I have from the start. So build me up, buttercup, don't break my heart. You are my toy, but I could be the boy you adore if you just let me know. Although you are true, I'm attracted to you all the more. Why do I need you so? Baby, baby, try to find a little time and I'll make you happy. I'll be home, I'll be beside the phone waiting for you. Why do you build me up, buttercup, baby, just to let
Yes, indeed. That was the Foundations and not the Buttercups. The Foundations from the late 1960s there and Build Me Up, Buttercup. Right, next up we have got a song in the name, I think it is, if I have done it correctly, it is a song put out by Chris Andrews and of course written by him. He was the guy who produced most of Sandy Shaw's hits, and he also had 2 or 3 big hits later on in the 1960s, including this one called Pretty Belinda.
Everyone called her Pretty Belinda. Went to the boathouse down by the river just for a look at Pretty Belinda. All of my loving wanted to give her. Soon as I saw her, Pretty Belinda, who lived in a boathouse down on the river, wanted to have her, Pretty Belinda. Her eyes were exciting, her hair it was golden, her lips were inviting, my heart she's stolen. Now we're together, me and Belinda. Now and forever, me and Belinda. Lives in a boathouse down on the river. Everyone called her Pretty Belinda. Went to the boathouse down by the river just for a look at Pretty Belinda. Lives on a boathouse down on the river. Everyone called her Pretty Belinda. Went to the boathouse down by the river just for a look at Pretty Belinda. Now I have wed my Pretty Belinda. That's what I said, my Pretty Belinda. She gave me a heart and made me a promise. We'll live apart, but Belinda is honest. We live in a boathouse down by the river. Everyone calls her Pretty Belinda. We live in a boathouse down by the river. Me and my wife called Pretty Belinda. Everyone calls her grooving on a Sunday afternoon. Really couldn't get away too soon. I can't imagine anything that's better. The world is ours whenever we're together. There ain't a place I like to be instead of moving down a crowded avenue to it. Anything we like to do. There's always lots of things that we can see. We can be anyone we like to be. And all those happy people we could meet just moving on a Sunday afternoon. Really couldn't get away too soon. No, 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 no. We'll keep on spending sunny days this way. We're gonna talk and laugh our time away. I feel it coming closer day by day. Life would be ecstasy, you and me endlessly moving on a Sunday afternoon. Really couldn't get away too soon. No, 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 no.
The Rascals there and Groovin'. Right, next up we've got a song that was put out by an Englishman called Mike San, a song called Come Outside. And on this one he was assisted by a lady who was proving to be a little bit difficult at the start, but gave in at the end.
Little doll, we've been jiving all night long. Little doll, got a feeling something's wrong. 'Cause it ain't right to wanna keep on dancing. There won't be any time left for romancing. Come outside, come outside. There's a lovely moon out there. Come outside, come outside. While we got time to spare. Little doll, it seems ages since we kissed. Little doll, think of all the fun we've missed. 'Cause it ain't right to wanna keep on dancing. There won't be any time left for romancing. Come outside.
What for?
Come outside.
What's the rush?
There's a lovely moon out there.
Cold outside.
Come outside.
Why?
Come outside.
You do keep on.
While we got time to spare.
I want another twist.
Now I went and promised your old man that we'd be home about 10:30. Seems we got just one more jive, then we'll be starting home again. Come outside.
Get lost.
Come outside.
Go and ask
There's
Lil.
a lovely moon out there.
Go off, people.
Come outside.
Give over.
Oh, come outside.
Belt up.
While we got time to spare.
Why don't you listen to the
Little
beats?
doll, I know the band ain't bad. Little doll, I'm a getting kind of mad. 'Cause it ain't right to wanna keep on dancing. There won't be any time left for romancing. Come outside.
Lay off.
Come outside.
Shove in.
There's a lovely moon out there.
You are a one.
Come outside.
Alright.
Come outside.
Not for too long.
While we got time for a bit of slap and tickle, eh,
I'll
bird?
slap tickle you in a
I'll come
minute.
out for a bit of snot, eh, darling?
Cool, you don't need a shave.
Yeah, I know, little marvellous here,
I
eh?
can't stop for too
Yeah.
long though. Only 5 minutes. I've got to go.
Yeah,
after that.
yeah, all right then, yeah.
Oh, I can't stop for too long, only 5 minutes. That just shows that sometimes persistence pays off. The darling little lady on that track was the actress Wendy Richards, who later on starred in that great English comedy, Are You Being Served? Right, it's 25 minutes to 9 o'clock here on Arrow FM. You're listening to the 60s Nostalgia Show, which is kindly sponsored by Cotter and Stevens, the electrical contractors down in Jellicoe Street in Martinborough. All right, next up we have got, I think it's Eddie Floyd and Knock on Wood. Yep, sure is.
I don't wanna lose this good thing that I've got. 'Cause if I do, I will surely lose a lot. 'Cause her love I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour when there's no one else around. I'm gonna take you, girl, and hold you and do all the things I told you in the midnight hour. Yes, I am. Oh, yes, I am. One more thing I just wanna say right here. I'm gonna wait till the stars come out and see that twinkle in your eyes. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. That's when my love begins to shine. You're the only girl I know that really loves me so in the midnight hour. Oh yeah, in the midnight hour. Yeah. All right, play it for me one time now. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. That's when my love comes tumbling down. I'm gonna wait when the midnight hour. That's when my love begins to shine. Just you and I. Oh, baby, just you and I. Nobody around, baby, just you and I. All right. You know what? I'm gonna hold you in my arms, just you and I. Oh yeah, in the midnight hour. Oh baby, in the midnight hour.
Two great soul tracks there, starting off with Eddie Floyd and Knock on Wood. And the next one, Wilson Pickett, of course, and In the Midnight Hour. Eddie Floyd was a successful songwriter, and that song, Knock on Wood's been covered by a lot of people, and I can recall one in, I think, the 1970s, in the disco era, was put out and covered by a lady called Amy Stewart. Right, next up, we've got early Beatles.
Love, love me do. You know I love you. I'll always be true. So please love me do. Oh,
must follow him. Ever since he touched my hand, I knew that near him I always must be, and nothing can keep him from me. He is my destiny. I love him, I love him, I love him, and where he goes I'll follow, I'll follow, I'll follow. He'll always be my true love, my true love, my true love, from now until forever, forever, forever. I will follow him, follow him wherever he may go. There isn't an ocean too deep, a mountain so high it can keep me away, away from my love. I love him, I love him, I love him, and where he goes I'll follow, I'll follow, I'll follow. He'll always be my true love, my true love, my true love, from now until forever, forever, forever. I will follow him, follow him wherever he may go. There isn't an ocean too deep, a mountain so high it can't keep me away, away from my love. And where he goes I'll follow, I'll follow, I'll follow. I know I'll always love him, I love him, I love him, and where he goes I'll follow, I'll follow, I'll follow. I know I'll always love him.
From the early 1960s there, Little Peggy March, and I Will Follow Him. Next up, we've got Love Affair, a song put out in the late 1960s, and this is what we try to do every Friday night here on Arrow FM, and that's bringing on the good times.
Since you went away, I've been losing my sleep at night. Never thought there'd come a day and you'd be back to make everything right. But how wrong could I be? 'Cause now you're here with me, bringing on back the good times, taking away the pain. You're bringing on back the good times, and I'm living on air. So glad that you're there, sweeping away the sad times, making me laugh again. Oh, you're bringing on back the good times.
Love affair there, and bringing on back the good times. Brought the time to 10 to 9 o'clock here on Arrow FM. Next up, we'll have a little bit of country with Jeannie C. Riley and a song all about the Harper Valley PTA.
Harper Valley Junior High. Well, her daughter came home one afternoon and didn't even stop to play. And she said, Mama, got a note here from the Harper Valley PTA. Well, the note said, Mrs. Johnson, you're wearing your dresses way too high. It's reported you've been drinking and running round with men and going wild. And we don't believe you ought to be bringing up your little girl this way. And it was signed by the Secretary, Harper Valley PTA. Well, it happened that the PTA was gonna meet that very afternoon. Sure surprised when Mrs. Johnson wore her mini skirt into the room. And as she walked up to the blackboard, I can still recall the words she had to say. She said, I'd like to address this meeting of the Harper Valley PTA. Well, there's Bobby Taylor sitting there, and 7 times he's asked me for a date. Mrs. Taylor sure seems to use a lot of ice whenever he's away. And Mr. Baker, can you tell us why your secretary had to leave this town? And shouldn't Gwida Jones be told to keep her window shades all pulled completely down? Well, Mr. Harper couldn't be here 'cause he stayed too long at Kelly's bar again. If you'll smell Shirley Thompson's breath, you'll find she's had a little nip of gin. And then you have the nerve to tell me you think that as a mother I'm not fit. Well, this is just a little Peyton place, and you're all Harper Valley hypocrites. No, I wouldn't put you on because it really did. It happened just this way. The day my mama socked it to the Harper Valley PTA. The day my mama socked it to the Harper Valley PTA.
Jeannie C. Riley there, and Harper Valley PTA song written by that great singer-songwriter called Tom T. Hall. Now, at the moment, I'm just trying to sort out what the next track's going to be because we haven't got much time left. So I think we'll play this one, and with a bit of luck, that'll bring us out right on time. It's The Byrds and one of their early tracks.
I ain't looking to compete with you, beat or cheat or mistreat you. Simplify you, classify you, deny, defy, or crucify you. All I really wanna do is baby be friends with you. No, I ain't looking to fight with you, frighten you, or uptighten you, drag you down or bring you down, chain you down or bring you down. All I really wanna do is baby be friends with you.
you. All I really wanna do is baby be friends with you. Baby be friends with you. Baby be friends with you.
The Birds there, and their Bob Dylan song, All I Really Want to Do, and that brought us out more or less on time. Certainly haven't run over time, which means I won't get into trouble with the lovely Mrs. Beale. That song brings to a close another edition of the 60s Nostalgia Show, which was kindly sponsored by Cotter and Stevens, the electrical contractors down in Jellicoe Street in Martinborough, and first broadcast all over the wonderful Wairarapa on Arrow FM 92.7.